Something happened recently in the crypto realm that has sent shockwaves through the SHEB community as a whole. Something remarkable occurred with SHEB that nearly no one noticed until today. Since everyone was concerned with following Bitcoin's most recent moves, suddenly trillions of tokens were in motion, and whale activity skyrocketed by an incredible 2,952%. However, the twist that has gone unnoticed is this. There is some logic to these transfers. Strategic positioning like this has the potential to alter the game for SHEB holders very soon. Throughout my years of studying whale migration patterns, I have never encountered anything comparable to this. Large holder inflows surged from 238.91 billion SHEB to a mind-boggling 6.42 trillion SHEB in the span of a single day at the beginning of May. You're not seeing a spike there. The major participant strategy towards this market has undergone a dramatic change, and it's at the most crucial moment. Exactly what followed is what makes this so intriguing. The price of SHEB did not immediately skyrocket, contrary to popular belief. Instead, it had a short gain before reversing sharply. After a 3.18% afternoon gain to 4.0492% on May 21st, SHEB unexpectedly fell 1.9% in the last hour of trading. With such a large number of whales, this isn't the kind of conduct you'd anticipate. That is precisely the reason why this scenario is so fascinating. Everyone is wondering this: how are these whales so much smarter than the rest of humanity? What's actually going on behind the scenes? Let's take a closer look. These whales aren't just swimming around. Institutional investors and ultra-wealthy people are probably behind these strategic maneuvers. Upon reviewing the patterns of the wallets, an obvious fact became apparent. There is no pattern to these sales. The tokens aren't making their way back to exchanges, even after the price turned around. They are being transferred to cold storage instead, which is indicative of stockpiling for the long term rather than trading for the short term. A more illuminating statistic is the large holder net flow, which monitors the movement of whale positions. This number jumped from 132.54 billion SHEB to 6.21 trillion SHEB, an incredible 6,050% increase. There is usually a clear indication when net flows increase this substantially. The astute investors are getting ready to make a big move. However, things start to get intriguing at this point. Something else occurred while these whales were busy gathering, yet hardly anyone paid attention to it. There was a 20.7% increase in open interest in SHEB derivatives, and an 81.69% increase in trading volumes. In the past, major price shifts have been preceded by a confluence of factors, including increased trading volume, rising derivatives interest, and large whale buildup. All of this seems suspiciously timed. The SHEB development team was noticeably silent on social media in the days leading up to the explosion of whale activity. We have heard nothing new, and there have been no changes to the roadmap. The abrupt whale movements, coupled with the relative quiet, raise the possibility that major events are unfolding in the background. I choose to delve even further into the matter by examining the particular wallet addresses associated with these transactions. My discovery was absolutely captivating. A large number of these wallets are associated with addresses that participated in earlier SHEB rallies. Known institutional players are even associated with some of them based on their transaction histories. This isn't some haphazard store purchase. Players with a history of acting before big market moves are coordinating their accumulating efforts in this way. Data stored on the blockchain also shows another important detail. At the moment, more than 34,000 addresses hold the 25.74 trillion SHEB coins that are located in the 4 zeros, 14 to 4 zeros, 15 support resistance zone. This sets up a contest for dominance between the bulls and the bears. We may witness a quick ascent as these investors either increase their holdings, or new buyers join the market if the price decisively breaks above this zone. On the other hand, this bullish activity is accompanied with a worrying counterpoint. With only 17% of holders making a profit and more than 80% still losing money, the profitability distribution is still very lopsided. Because a lot of holders might sell to break even if the price goes up, this makes for a lot of overhead resistance. Extreme volatility is a result of the conflicting goals of new whale accumulation and the desire of existing investors to cash out. If past trends are any indication, this may be the last calm before the storm. When whale inflows spiked by more than 2,000% last time, SHEB surged, rising more than 45% in the weeks that followed. In any case, given the present state of the market, it would be foolish to base future expectations on previous successes. It's worth noting that these whale movements are occurring in clusters. Similarly, SHEB's burn rate increased by more than 4,800% throughout that time. Massive token burns and whale stockpiling set the stage for a supply shock, when demand unexpectedly exceeds supply, which could lead to price increases. Therefore, what is the true plot here? As the price turns around, why are whales dumping trillions of tokens into cold storage all of a sudden? For those who own SHEBs, there are three plausible explanations, and each one has important consequences. One possible explanation is that these whales are waiting for the SHEB team to make a big announcement, like a new collaboration, a huge upgrade to Heshiberium, or a utility that changes the game. In addition to the intentional buildup, the lack of communication from the development team raises the possibility that insiders are trying to position themselves to take advantage of news that has not yet been made public. There is another, more technical option. A complex bottom pattern has been developing in the SHEB market structure, with critical support at 4 zeros and 0108. This group of whales may be sensing that SHEB is about to hit a turning point, when it will either collapse or perform a big rally. In order to increase their wager on the latter, a possible technical breakout with potential upside targets near 4,148, the 50-day moving average, or 4,748, the 200-day. Among the three options, the third one seems most interesting. These whales might be waiting for the market's attitude toward meme coins to change for the better. As Ethereum and Bitcoin both begin to show signs of stability, investors often move their money to lower-risk altcoins and meme tokens. As one of the most well-known meme coins, SHEB stands to gain significantly if this rotation is starting. However, one cannot overlook a more sinister reading. A 68% drop from December 2024 levels of active addresses indicates less involvement and a slowing of transactional activity. An unstable dynamic is created when whale buildup and user action diverge. Does the whale population's accumulation reflect genuine value creation, or is it an attempt to artificially inflate prices by feigning demand? Important things will happen in the next days. We may witness a quick ascent toward the 50-day moving average, if SHEB can decisively break above the 4 zeros, 15 resistance, and maintain it as support. Short sellers would certainly cover their holdings and investors who aren't actively purchasing would step in, creating a domino effect of buying. However, if SHEB is unable to profit from this whale activity and falls below important support, it may indicate that these large holdings are selling instead of buying, which is a negative indicator that could lead to additional declines. This is a time of opportunity and caution for individuals owning SHEB. Smart money seems to be pricing in value at the moment, judging by the huge influx of whales. The technological picture, however, is still unclear. There is a high probability of sudden price changes due to the concentration of tokens in the present range. How prescient or premature these whales are, will be revealed in the days to come. Although one thing is guaranteed, a volatility event has the potential to transform SHEB's entire market structure, what with the community watching every tick, billions of tokens in circulation, and billions of dollars in trading volume. Watch the whales' movements, whether you're